Alright lads, so today we got some news regarding the new set of resurrection characters. In this case is the Karakura Battle Summons Bonds of the Soul. So we have Isshin, White Ichigo, and also TENSA ZANGETSU. All three characters here have the potential chance to get a better link and also a better character. Pretty excited to see what they do get here. Before we do though, of course, obviously there's still no mention of these characters getting resurrected. Obviously Killab did skip them because they are Chronicle Quest bonuses. And at the same time, because they did skip so many banners, they kind of like excelled us into the future for the most part when it comes to characters getting resurrections, because technically lads, as you can see here, the next set of characters to get resurrected in terms of premium characters should be 4th anniversary, Full Hollow, and also Mugetsu. Do I think they're next? No, maybe. I feel like Killab should save them for a special occasion, maybe end of year, and that's what I think. But even then, if they skip them and go to the next premium banner, there is also the possibility they do some seasonal banners, right? It's the Visored banner with Hiyori, Lisa, and Hachigun, and these characters are still usable to this day, and then eventually we're getting to the Fierce Battle banners, and then we're in 2020, which is absolutely crazy if you really think about it. And I think that's one of the main reasons why Killab actually started to do one resurrection batch per month. Of course, you could say it's to lower orb count, but I feel like one of the main reasons, then again, I'm only speculating, Killab never gave us a full reason why they did this, is because they probably realized if they kept doing the 2 resurrection batches per month, eventually they would have caught up. Because of how many limited banners they're releasing and they can't obviously resurrect them just yet, if they kept doing 2 resurrection batches per month, we probably would have been around here already. 6th anniversary characters getting the resurrection, if that kind of makes sense. So that's probably the main reason why they only do 1 a month right now, basically. But with that said, let's actually talk about the new characters and what resurrections will they actually be getting. So in this case, TENSA ZANGETSU is a strong attack recharge link minus 14%. Very good link, one of the best links in the game already. If he could pick up full stamina here or strong attack damage, that is going to be absolutely ideal, and that's what you're really hoping for in this case, because he is an enhanced link, right? You know, it's nice to know if a strong attack recharge link gets a strong attack damage or full stam, but in cases like this, let's not mess it up, Killab. He's a 14% recharge. Be a nice gaming company and give us strong attack damage or full stamina damage, and that's what we're hoping for here. Now, as far as the character does go, he does have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 skills, so he is going to pick up an extra skill, which is most likely going to be 20% Berserker, which I guess will make him better in combination with the fact that he could potentially get an extra 16% strong attack damage. That will overall be a 36% strong attack damage increase, which yeah, makes him better, but it isn't going to be anything super OP that, you know, you're going to have to start using this TENSA ZANGETSU. But that's fine. At the end of the day, the main thing about resurrection characters is that they are links, but also orbs at the same time. So looking at what TENSA ZANGETSU did get, his soul trait is damage inflicted at full stamina plus 60%. Absolutely amazing. That's what you love to see it. Strong attack damage is also great, but full stamina is technically better since it also affects your normal attack damage. It also affects your soul bomb damage, and having an increase on both of those things is actually really good. You know, I basically use full stamina damage links all the time, essentially. I use it in Co-op, I use it in Epic Raids, Guild Quest, and also Senkaman. So that's by far one of the best links in the entire game. Already off to a great start, and then look at the skills he does get. He does pick up 20% Berserker, so as expected. So the bare minimum when it comes to the skills that you can pick up, again, these characters are limited to only having 7 skills, unfortunately. Do hope that sometimes that does change. And as for the soul trait, again, best possible scenario. Lovely, glad you take that. Next up, we have White Ichigo, and I feel like because we just got a full stam link with the TENSA ZANGETSU, I feel like this Ichigo is going to get the short end of the stick, but again, he is a 12% recharge character, so again, ideal thing here would be full stamina or strong attack damage. I'm going to go ahead and say strong attack damage, just because why not? At the same time, they could go with Last Ditch, they could go with stam recovery, maybe even normal attack damage if they want to. I don't really know what they're going to do here. Again, it could go either way. As for the skills, though, again, he does have Weakened Duration, Sprinter +1, Frenzy +1, Devastation, Debilitator, and also Bruiser. So he's missing 1 skill here, so he's going to pick up 20% Berserker. And let's see what he does pick up. So for White Ichigo's soul trait, he picked up Lacerate Duration minus 55%. I knew they were just going to shaft one character. They blessed TENSA ZANGETSU. They didn't want to give us another really good link. Again, you know my standpoint if you watch many of my resurrection videos in the past. When we talk about characters that get resurrected, I don't mind status element duration soul traits. I feel like poison duration here would have been great. Weakened duration, paralysis, or even freeze would have been absolutely amazing, right? They can be very, very useful. But in this case, lacerate is not useful, because the only time you come up against lacerate enemies, essentially, I guess you go across it against maybe, again, things could change in the future, right? But essentially, you're very rarely ever going to get inflicted by Lacerate, so you don't need to be immune to it, right? There's no pulls in the floor that inflict Lacerate. There's rarely any enemies that in this game that inflict Lacerate. The only enemies that come to my mind right now are the human enemies, which, again, you can kind of get around. It's not that big of a deal. So, realistically, the only place you get Lacerated is in Senkamon and also Arena, where you don't really need those Lacerate durations. So, maybe it's setting up for something in the future, but as of right now, Lacerate duration is kind of useless. I would have preferred, paralysis duration, freeze, burn, poison, or weaken. Those status moments where you do come across those in a normal day-to-day basis, depending on the content you are going against, those would have been better, and I would have much preferred that as a soul trait. But I'm not going to complain about it, I guess, because, we do need those. I'm pretty sure Lacerate duration and recharge doesn't exist, and if for some reason, anytime in the future, we do need to have those links, I'm going to be happy to have a link like this. We already do have a decent amount of strong attack damage and recharge links, so I guess it's not that big of a deal, and I guess links like this do need to exist at one point, just to kind of fill out the roster for the most part. But again, for the most part, right now, it doesn't really have that much usage going for him. And then we have our last character, Isshin, who is a last-ditch survival rate 100%. Pretty rare soul trait for the most part as of right now, because most characters that we do get are just going to have recharge links when it comes to the resurrections. Recharge or Night and DR is what you're going to come across most of the time now. So, last ditch, not really sure what I wanted. Maybe normal attack damage would be great. Maybe DR would be nice too. That's basically about it. That's the only nice thing that I would see here. Recharge would also be pretty decent. He is an SP character, so recharge, normal attack damage, or damage reduction, I think would be the most ideal thing here when it comes to his soul traits. As for his skills, again, he does have 6 skills. He's missing 20% Berserker. Therefore, he's going to pick up 20% Berserker. So his soul trait, what did he actually pick up? He got damage inflicted at low stamina plus 24%. So, yeah, pretty actual good soul trait, to be fair. That's actually pretty good. It makes sense, right? You want to be at low stamina, so having that extra built-in last ditch is always nice. Can't complain about that. I don't think we have many links for the heart attribute that consist of low stam and also last ditch. I do know that we have the ICHIGO, who is also low stam and also last ditch. So now you can potentially use 2 of those links and they're both heart based. So you can get 180% last ditch and also 54% low stam. That's a pretty good combination. So I kind of like that soul trait. And again, as expected, for his skills, he does pick up 20% Berserker. So overall, those are the 3 new resurrected characters. As far as the skills go, again, bare minimum, boring, basic stuff, only 20% Berserker, as expected. And as for the soul traits, I think we got a really good soul trait in TENSA ZANGETSU. Very, very powerful soul trait, definitely a must-have. We have a pretty good soul trait with Isshin. I think I can definitely see myself using that. I don't use low stam links that often, but if I ever do need to go with a low stam build, I'm definitely going to use an Isshin link. And then the white Ichigo, unfortunately, got the short end of the stick and didn't really get as good soul trait for the most part. It's kind of useless right now, but hey, in the future, it might become useful. But with that said, again, for those curious on what the next resurrection batch could be, technically, if we are going in order of the banner releases, if we're looking at the premium characters, Mugetsu and Full Hollow are technically next, but I do believe they are going to skip them and potentially save that for a hype celebration, like an anniversary, for example, and maybe they're going to jump straight into Hiyori, Hachigun, and also Lisa, which is quite interesting because these characters are also still pretty good to this day, especially Hiyori. I still use in Guild Quest, but in my opinion, what I feel like they actually are going to do is do a seasonal banner, because what we will see here is that the Spirit Society banner, if I can find it, this banner right here was already resurrected. They kind of got resurrected early, but what we do see here is that Ruroka, Haribo, and Yachiru, these characters have not been resurrected, and by the time this resurrection banner does happen, it will be in the month of October. So I feel like this is the most likely outcome to do a Halloween type of celebration. Then after that, they're probably going to do this banner here for December and do a Christmas type of themed resurrection batch. And then maybe after that too, we're just going to get a bunch of seasonal characters getting resurrected, because what you will see here is that we're kind of still stuck in 2018 when it comes to the seasonal characters. But if we look at the premium characters, we're already pushing 2019, almost 2020. So there's definitely an imbalance here when it comes to seasonal and premium character getting resurrected. So I think we're definitely going to see, for the next couple of months, probably just get non-stop seasonal characters getting resurrected, which, again, personally, I'm not really going to complain about. But with that said, lads, that was the video for today. Hope you lads did enjoy it. In the comments below, again, let me know what you lads think about these 3 characters getting their resurrection. TENSA ZANGETSU is a pretty good link. I already have him 5-5, so I'm really happy that he did get the outcome he did get. White Ichigo, again, tad bit disappointing, but it is what it is. And Isshin is a pretty good link. But for the most part, they are 225 orbs if you do own these 3 characters. So with that said, hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.